Now we're going to look at this. So here we're saying, the question is saying find the square root of this. So question answers find the square root of this side. So when we get such question, we're always going to say let the square root of 14 plus 6 root of 5 be equals to plus or minus. Remember we say that the square root of 4 should be plus or minus 2. The square root of 4 should be plus or minus 2. So when you're saying let the square root of it, you say it should be root of x. Now here, since it's plus, we're going to say plus root of y. Then when we have this, we're going to square both sides. Square both sides, we're going to have this is 14 plus 6 root of 5 squared is going to be equals to root of x plus root of y squared. Now what you would ask yourself, why are we putting here plus? Because here it's plus. So when we square both sides here, this goes with this. So what do we have? We have 14 plus root of 6 is equals to root of x plus root of y. So we're always going, as I told you in my previous lesson, we're always going to have this b squared plus 2ab sorry, plus b squared. So this squared, so we'll have 14 plus 6 root of 5 is going to be equals to, so we'll have x squared, since x root of x is where a is, plus 2 times x times this plus root of y squared. But you can choose to expand it the other way, you'll still come up with the same answer, root of 5. So here I have x plus 2 root of xy plus y. So now we can collect like terms. So here we have this is equals to x plus y plus 2 root of x. So we can now here equate, that's it, not coefficients, but we're just comparing like terms. Here we'll say x plus y is equals to 14, and we'll say 2 root of xy is equals to 6 root of 5. Like we're equating the rational numbers to this, then now the sides to the sides. So we have this. So here we can now square both sides. Square both sides. So what will we have? 4 xy is going to be equals to 36 times 5. So here we end up having 4 xy is equals to, let me get a calculator. So we have 36 times 5. So this is 180. So we can divide through by 4. Divide through by 4. 180 divided by 4. We get xy is equals to 45. So we can make x the subject. So x is equals to 45 out of y. So then we can substitute into this. Maybe this is equation 1. We can substitute equation 1, which is x plus y is equals to 14. So this is 45 out of y plus y is equals to 14. So we multiply it through by y. What do we have? 45 plus y squared is equals to 14y. So we can now solve this y squared minus 14y plus 45. So we can solve this, and so here what you get, I've just used a calculator, but using whichever method you want, you get y is 9 and y is equals to 5. So you can then find the value of x, and then you say when y is 9, you find the value of x. When y is this, you get the value of x. With that, you can form two potential roots, and you'll have the answer. Okay, now we have another example. Still wanting us to find the square root. The difference is that here is a negative. So we are going to start in the same way. We let the square root of this is 14 minus this should be equals to still plus or minus root of x minus this time. Because of the minus is because of this negative. So then we do the same thing. We square both sides. So we end up having this is 14 minus this squared is equals to this squared. So the same thing, a minus b squared should be. Now this expansion with time it should be easy for you to remember. So now this goes with this. So I have 14 minus 4 root of 6 is equals to, so I just compare coefficients. This is not coefficients, but like I compare. Then here I have x into this plus root of y squared. So what do I have? 14 minus 4 root of 6 is equals to x minus 2 root of xy plus y. So I can try and collect like terms. So this is this x plus y minus 2 root of xy. Then I can equate the same thing. X plus y, equate the rational numbers and also equate the surds. So I can say this is 4 root of 6 is equals to 2 root of xy. Since both are there's a negative on both, so even if I will say it negative this is equals to negative this, you see. And this, let me say now I divide through by negative 2, I divide through by negative 2, so I get 2 root of 6 is equals to root of xy. I square both sides, so here I get 4 times 6 is equals to xy. So I get 24 is equals to xy. I can make x the subject, so x is equals to 24 out of y. I substitute it into that, so I have 24 out of y plus y is equals to 14 multiplied through by y. I have 24 plus y squared is equals to 14y. Then now I can make a quadratic equation. This is y squared minus 14y plus 24 is equals to 0. So still, same thing like last time, you can solve this with any method of solving quadratic equations, and you'll get your values of y's. And also you should always note that every time you meet a quadratic equation, you have to put a working, because that is where the mark is for this quadratic equation. They don't just mark the final answers, they usually mark the mark for the working. So if you're out of time, you can just quote the quadratic formula, then you substitute in your values, and that can get the mark for the marking. After so this, you substitute y is equals to, then you try to simplify, then you can now give your final answer. So after getting this, you can now come and say when y is 12, you say when y is 2. So you can now come and maybe use this formula. So this will be x plus 12 is equals to 14. So x is going to be, so here x plus 2 is going to be 14. So x would be 12. But remember, we had said this is x minus root of y. We will say plus or minus. So this will be root of 2. So the is a plus or minus. Then this minus root of y, which is 12. Even here, the same thing, we have root of, here we have root of 12. So here we also have plus or minus. Then here we have minus root of y, which is 2. Now, this is the square root of that. So you can even try and square it. Try squaring it, then you will see you'll come up with something that resembles that. So that's how we find the square root of that's how you find the square root of such